Good morning, traders. Welcome back to the FXE YouTube channel. This morning I got up early, had a look at the charts, liked what I saw, and figured I'd do a quick update. So the market just rolled over, so we got our daily candle. Hopefully spread hours doesn't cause any unexpected movement, but regardless, I'll go with what I'm saying on the charts right now, and hopefully we get a trade set up for Asia. Today I won't be doing a top-down analysis. I'll just do price action review from Monday and explain what I'm looking for during Asia. But first, hit the thumbs up button and subscribe if you haven't already. Now let's get into it. Just really quick on the fundamentals. There is an Aussie interest rate decision today, and as I plan to trade Asia, this could cause some movement on the dollar, which could impact my trade. And if we move really quick onto the yields, you can see we already had a pullback across the board, but on the 10-year and the 30-year, you can see we've retested the daily fair value gap. So this is a good thing for me because it was what I was hoping for, because I'm hoping now the yields start to come down. And if they do, then that means DXY comes down and EU goes up. And moving on to DXY. So I'm not going to do a top down, but I just want to show you something really quick on the daily time frame. So what you can see is after that aggressive push to the downside, our low is now here, we've pulled back, we've created a daily fair value gap as I was expecting. But one other thing that we did is we filled the daily inverse fair value gap on the left. So what I'm hoping for now is, now that it's done somewhat of a mitigation, maybe we'll get a further test into the daily fair value gap and thereafter a push to the downside. And I'm going to go straight to the 15-minute time frame. So just really quick on the price action review. So the market opened around here, and you can see we had some consolidation, and then when Japan opened, we swept the highs. Thereafter, we started to come to the downside. We continued to the downside until London opened. At London Open, we had a pullback. It's actually a manipulation. It swept the highs, came into the 15-minute supply, thereafter reversed and pushed further to the downside. And then after we created our low, let's see, halfway through London session, it was mostly consolidation. And then you can see we had that last retest of the demand, and thereafter at New York session we started to push to the upside. We continued to push to the upside until, let's see, actually no, we continued to push to the upside. We did have a pullback here, probably a reaction off the supply here, pullback, and then continuation to the upside, breaking all the highs. So it was clear that we were bullish now. And then thereafter, right before the PM session, we started to have a pullback, and then one more manipulation. We swept the internal lows, came into the 15-minute fair value gap, thereafter reacted, and then pushed even higher to the upside. So what happened after that is actually what I like on the charts. So we came into this fair value gap, we had a little reaction, but then continuation, and then this is the daily inverse fair value gap. So you can see we filled that, but we've also filled the 15-minute fair value gap as well, and you can see we're already starting to have a reaction off of it. So what I'm really looking for is to see if we can get a shift on the 15-minute time frame. So what I would like to see is consolidation. First, I would like to see consolidation, but I would like to see a shift and then see if we can get a sweep, and thereafter I'll be looking for longs on EU. So just really quick. So this would be the sweep, and this will be the shift. So shift and then a sweep and then push to the downside. I would also even consider mitigation as well. So if it mitigated the highs rather than sweeping it, even then I would look into trading that. But timing wise, it'll have to be right here at Japan Open. So right around Japan Open or within 30 minutes would be what I would be looking for. So if we get that sweep or mitigation right around Japan Open or shortly after it, then I'll look on EU, see what EU is doing, and look for longing opportunities. Now moving on to EU, just really quick again on the daily time frame. So you can see we did create a daily fair value gap as I was expecting, but one interesting thing you will see is that we've already tapped into it. So this is a good sign because now maybe we can push up from here, and I'll be looking for longs during Asia session. And if we go to the 15-minute time frame, so just a quick review of the price action. So what did we do? So pre-Japan, you can see we had some consolidation. We had a push to the upside, and then Japan Open, you can see we swept the highs. Thereafter came to the downside, swept the lows, and thereafter pushed right back up to the upside. And then you can see here we broke structure, giving signs that we're going to push further to the upside, thereafter having a reaction and then continuation. And then we consolidated in this area, created some equal lows, and then London had a push to the upside, and then we had a pullback, sweeping the internal liquidity, thereafter aggressively pushing to the upside. We broke the structure, but it could be seen more as a sweep because you can see what happened after is we actually reversed. So we had a shift very quick, so within an hour we had a shift. Thereafter it just consolidated forever, but you can see the supply was holding the entire time. And then we had one aggressive move to the downside, breaking structure, and then thereafter aggressively pulling back, sweeping the internal liquidity, tapping back into the supply. And you can see we also have a fair value gap here as well. And thereafter continuation to the downside. Once again, breaking more structure and then sweeping the lows that I was targeting. So these are the lows that I wanted to see go before I started to look for longing opportunities. And you can see what happened. We had a 15-minute fair value gap here. We tapped into it and already had a reaction. We do have demand further below, but what I'll be looking for Asia is to see if this holds and see if we can get some consolidation in this area, maybe creating some structure, breaking the highs, and thereafter sweeping the lows, and then I'll be looking for longing opportunities. So something like this is what I'll be looking for, but again, need to be careful on the time because this has to be right around Japan Open. So right around or just after Japan Open, I'll be looking for a sweep or mitigation of the extreme. And so either a sweep of these lows or a sweep of internal liquidity, and then there I'll look for longing opportunities. That's more or less what I'll be hoping for during Asia, and if we get a nice move, we may get that continuation during London, and I can potentially hold a trade. This is the reason why I wanted to trade Asia today. And depending on the price action through Asia, I may come back for another update for London. Anyways, that's it for today's update. Hopefully you guys found some value in today's video, and if you did, a like and a subscribe would be appreciated. Good luck trading today, and I'll see you for the next one. Peace.
Black Swan.